All right, today we're going to talk about a really powerful mental model, one that could totally change how you look at your own mistakes. It's called the wisdom tax. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll have the tools you need to stop paying it for good.
So let me just ask you this. Do you ever feel like you're playing life on the hardest difficulty setting? You know that feeling, right? Where you keep smashing into the same walls, making the same kinds of mistakes over and over, and you just can't seem to level up.
Well, here's the thing. It's probably not because you're just clumsy or unlucky. There's a real, hidden cost to learning everything the hard way, again and again. It's a pattern, and today we're going to give it a name.
So, yeah, let's pull back the curtain on this thing. It's time to actually define what we're talking about, to put a name to that feeling of just being stuck on repeat. Let's talk about the wisdom tax.
So what is it really? The wisdom tax is basically the price we pay in time, in energy, in pure frustration, every single time we have to relearn a lesson through painful trial and error. It's often because our own brains are working against us. We have this optimism bias, that little voice that whispers, this time will be different, even when all the signs are pointing to, nope. It's the price of ignoring our own history. And this tax? Man, it shows up everywhere. Think about it. In business, it's hiring that person with all the same red flags as the last one. In your personal life, it's getting into another toxic relationship that feels weirdly familiar. It's the money down the drain on another fad diet, or a risky investment that looks just like the last one that blew up. See, these aren't just one-off events. They are taxable.
And here's what you've got to understand. This isn't just about money. Honestly, that's usually the smallest part of the bill. The real crushing cost is in your most valuable resources, the ones you can never get back. We're talking about your time, your energy, and all the opportunities you miss out on while you're stuck in that loop, relearning the same old lesson.
Okay, so that's the problem, and yeah, it can feel a little heavy. But here's the good news, the whole point of this. Once you can actually see the tax, you can stop paying it. And that brings us to the solution, finding the predictable patterns that are causing it in the first place. So if life feels like it's stuck on hard mode, what's the cheat code? How do you switch it back to normal? It's this. You have to learn to see the predictable patterns that lead to the mistake. This is the whole game changer. It's about shifting from being a victim of your circumstances to becoming a student of your own behavior.
Just look at this comparison. It really lays it all out, right? Trial and error is reactive. You hit a wall, you feel the pain, and then maybe you try something new. But pattern recognition? That's proactive. You learn to see the wall coming before you hit it. You go from this slow, painful, cyclical loop to a path that's insightful and efficient. It's progressive. Every experience actually moves you forward.
So how do you actually do this? Well, it's a pretty simple three-step process. First, get really specific. Pinpoint one recurring problem. Let's say it's procrastinating on big projects. Okay? Step 2, rewind the tape. What were the specific decisions you made right before that happened? Be brutally honest with yourself here. And third, look across a few times this has happened and find the common thread. What's the one factor that's always there? That right there is the heart of the pattern. Because once you can see that common denominator, you've got the key. You finally have the power to do something different. And that brings us to our final piece here, actually breaking the cycle. I really want you to let this one sink in. The goal is not to be perfect. It's not about never making a mistake again because that's just impossible. The real goal is to make progress. It's about making new mistakes. The whole point is to stop paying that insane wisdom tax on the lessons you've already had plenty of chances to learn. And that, right there, is the ultimate payoff. When you start seeing these patterns, you literally change your life's trajectory. You break out of that frustrating repeating loop, and instead, you enter this incredible upward spiral where every single experience, even the really tough ones, becomes a stepping stone for real growth and, well, actual wisdom. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. When you look at your life, your work, your health, your relationships, what is the one wisdom tax that you are just done with? What's the one you are finally ready to stop paying? Because just identifying it, that is the first and most powerful step you can take.